Well, I gotta say, I am leaning on the same side as both of our analysts. There's always a chance, Pilly, but 2-0 is what we have on the cards for us here. Team Liquid, they're not really skipping a beat at all from what we've seen today. And on to Overpass, their own map pick as well. Big definitely backed into a corner now.
100%. Two sets of utility on both of the teams, rather. I'm going to send Tabson to go look for some information, but doesn't actually spot that player nice and close. It is Liege up close. And at the moment, looks like Liquid just setting up to make sure Big aren't making any kind of aggressive pushes on the CT side, gathering too much information, getting one player behind the T side team. Just very much spreading out, punishing any kind of pushes and making sure that Big has very limited information before they do go to whatever strategy they've decided they want to go for in the late round.
Definitely not the worst of starts for Big, particularly when we consider how the pistol went, or the first pistol went on Dust 2, where Team Liquid literally just ran straight into long and banged the heads off of, well, pretty much all of Big. We'll see whether or not that is going to be the case again. A nice flashbang actually pushes Tabson out of his position, and he has to really back away now. It's down the retreat, and unfortunately goes for the repeat. Stewie will absolutely punish him for that, but there is a trade out from Legia. And that at least brings it back to the 4v4. So there's still a chance into this one for Big. So they do at least have control of long as well. They can set themselves up nicely on B.
Flash.
On A.
There was a flash out into short A, and Legia actually checked that area of the map and didn't see anyone, which is why you see these rotations coming out from Big, but that's not what Liquid are doing at all. They're already up on this bomb site.
And Stewie's won the aim duel as well against Legia. That's a great opener for Team Liquid. But God, B, well, he reckons he only sees 5 or 6 enemies, and he's only seen one this time because he gets traded straight away by Stewie. And across the board, all the frags that matter are going the way of Team Liquid. Another pistol round for them. They're up 1-0 on their own map pick.
They are indeed, and again, it's going to be a similar sort of state of affairs for Big, unfortunately. At this point, after losing the pistol on the CT side, next round they're not going to very likely have money for that AWP. If they do, it'll be the glass cannon after a couple of USP kills from Tabson or something like that, which is a pretty sad state of affairs. They're going to have to make those rifles and armor work. And on a map like Overpass, when you don't have the utility on the CT side, it becomes a lot harder to hold down that B bomb site. You can't drop the molly onto Monster. You can't be refreshing that smoke onto short B time and time again once the Ts do take control of that part of the map. It can make things a lot harder. Over towards A, where you can get a little bit more aggressive and take some duels earlier on in the round. Things can be a little bit easier. So we'll see what Liquid's approach is going to be in the first gun round, particularly if they do hold on to these UMPs and MAC-10.
So far, so good for Team Liquid, though they are losing a bit of HP on Twist. You need to be careful of keeping him alive. Stewie has started the map off pretty well, not only with the pistol, but now getting involved in the anti-eco as well. 5-0, actually. So he's definitely doing well for himself, playing like a man with absolutely no fear. He just dives straight out in front of all of Big, and it works out for him. Survives on 15 HP, 3 kills onto the MAC-10. Bit of cash in the bank there for Stewie and for Team Liquid.
So here's the question. I mean, you're looking at these UMPs and the MAC-10s, and Big, half of them haven't respected them. They haven't got head armor. So looking at players like Tabson, Tizian, and Legia, they could get headshot in this round in particular, and those SMGs become a lot scarier.
I almost feel like it's quite obvious, really, for Stewie to just continue on with this MAC-10, right? He's 7-0. He's got no fear. He's got plenty of cash. Why not just throw it out, give it a burl?
So here are the bathroom smokes coming out from Team Liquid very early on in the round. They're going to throw flashes over this party area and force Legia off the angle. Now that those smokes do come up, Stewie gets sent out into this part of the map. And the boost comes out from Big, but Stewie very well aware of it. Almost kills Legia. There's that headshot coming out that did so much damage.
You can see it. He's down to 6 HP. Luckily, Stewie wasn't a little bit closer. Oh, how's that happen?
Oh, Tabson.
I mean, look.
That's the second -1 in 2 maps for Big.
Exactly. Godby started off with, like, up to round 8, he was like -1 on Dust 2. Now it's Tabson.
Hey, you can't afford to have that happening for Tabson, but regardless, Team Liquid, they do get that first opener, even if it wasn't them that finished the job, and now taking this bathroom's control. Looks like they're setting up for this A execute. Third player making his way over. It is next, but no utility left over for this Big roster, so it's multi-frag or die.
Multi-frag or die, says Pilly. Well, those are some pretty grim words when we're looking at Big, and the multi-frags weren't necessarily there on Dust 2. I think the multi-frags is definitely something that we've associated with Team Liquid throughout this matchup thus far. Let's see if Tabson can get off that -1. And it's next that starts things off. Got B follows up quite nicely. Liquid having a bit more difficulty battering their way onto the A-bomb site this time, but sooner or later that seems like it's going to fall. Tabson, however, he's definitely making amends for the team kill in this round. A double kill for him now. He will be finished off, and Twists even is finally ended by Tizian in that 1v1.
But again, it comes down as close as it could possibly get, which means that the money on Big is absolutely cooked. Only one of these players is going to be thrown over a rifle from Tizzy, and he will drop that AUG over to Nex, it looks like, as he was the first man to buy up the armor. And over on the side of Liquid, they can buy up again. So still danger territory for Big. They need to string a second gun round onto the board. And if they do so, they need to keep it a lot cleaner than that last round came down. Bit of pressure over towards this A side of the map from utility from Big, and they're just going to make their way down into connector. But they don't commit down there, just using the smoke to keep Team Liquid guessing about what their setup is on this CT side. But all things considered, that's a lot of utility thrown out on that A side of the map. And it might look a bit pointless, but the whole purpose is really just to slow Team Liquid down on this default, keep them guessing about what the setup will be from Big, and just run the clock down. Because on the A side of the map, if you don't drop that utility at the start, once you fall back from those toilet angles, once you fall back from long A, it becomes a lot less valuable. It's not like a map like Inferno, where you can just drop the smokes on the choke points and completely shut down a push. There's not really good places to be able to drop those most of the time.
Slow and steady, though, seems to be the name of the game for Liquid. Only just now starting to explore any further than really their own territory. Out into long, they do cop a big amount of damage onto Nitro and Unleash.
A lot of damage, and they have slowed down Team Liquid with the utility. So now Liquid only just taking this long control, only just starting to make their way up the bathrooms. But I love this from Big, getting aggressive in towards that short A area.
There's not a lot of time for Liquid right now.
Yeah, and God B's going to go disrupt them with the MP7, but does get clawed out.
Under a fair bit of pressure here is God B. It does look like he'll get out okay for now. Just slots himself in the corner. Not really many other places that he could go, so I think Team Liquid may well find themselves a fairly easy second. Nagy doing his best to keep his in-game leader alive. But look at this, Stewie, he certainly seems to know that there is going to be someone close on this left angle. And there he goes, Godby down, 7 seconds on the clock though. Pili and Legia is doing a heroic stand on the bomb site. Bomb plant though will be going down. And Stewie, the lion's share of the work. Twiz just flips around and Tizian goes bye-bye. 3-1. What a explosive round really from Liquid. Like it took so long for them to really get any map control. But by the time they had that, they just exploded out on the A bomb site.
Well, you saw from the setup that they could have gone out and taken it if they wanted it, but it's really just that utility that Big throws out, the smoky connector and the Molotov over towards that pipes area behind the party. It keeps Liquid guessing about what the attention of Big is in that round. Are they going to get aggressive on us? Where's the setup? Is it double connector? They really have to take their time on Overpass T side, just making sure they run down the checklist and make sure they not falling to any of these more aggressive setups and different sort of things that Big can throw on their CT side to catch Liquid off guard. And once they do that, you see, by the time we're hitting the late round, because of how close that last round came out, Big has very little utility to be able to fall back on, so they do actually go for the push in the mid round.
Well, that hurts.
Yeah, they have USBs, so I don't think they really care. They just want to try to get a cheeky kill through the fight.
Yeah.
Not the greatest chances in this round.
Naf only able to get the 1-for-1. Won't quickly be traded by Stewie, though eventually should be. In the end, God B actually does get back into the site. It's not a major concern for Liquid at all.
Well, losing the MAC-10 definitely won't be. As long as they keep things nice and clean, 4 people alive, then things should be looking pretty good. Good news for Big, though, is that finally Tabson's starting to get enough money on the board to be able to potentially get himself an AWP. And on Overpass CT side, so many opportunities for Big to be able to get early picks with that and get themselves an early advantage if Liquid does give it to them.
Stewie, 2-man spray down, nicely done. Stewie definitely having a good game for himself here on Overpass. Thus far, so is Team Liquid, of course. Buy will come through here for Big, but there's not a huge excess of cash right now for them. So you're going to be missing some head armor, that kind of thing.
Better than what they had to work with these last couple of buys, for sure. But we'll see. AWP on Tabson is something that I want to be keeping an eye on, because he's going to have to be the real difference maker. Obviously, he didn't have an absolutely massive game, and they pointed out on the desk that how hard can Tabson possibly carry Big? Well, here's this opportunity to do so. He's gone aggressive up in towards that party area, but he hasn't been given anyone to look at. But the difference is that locking down this area gives a lot of information to Big, and look at this setup on the Big bomb site.
Yeah, even the lack of players there is actually pretty impactful information for Big. Although, whether or not they're going to be able to do anything with it remains to be seen. Got B just hiding above the smoke right now as Liquid start to make their way into the bomb site. This may well be a masterstroke if he gets the peak correct, but does not. Nitro finishes him off. And now it's Nexus' turn. Going to play whack-a-mole here for Team Liquid. See whether or not they can continue to spot the players jumping up and down on the bomb site. Tabson, in the meanwhile, did get involved with the AWP, but Liquid are just deciding to slow things down here. That's going to put the element of doubt in Big's mind. Where are they? What are they doing?
Yeah, going completely quiet here is going to start to mess with Big's head a little bit. You do see Tabson making his way through the maze, seeing if anyone's flanking him. He's got to try and check all of his corners and clear out that A bomb site. You see even the second player rotating over. Legia is making his way back towards A. And at some point, Nexus is going to have to get some information. He's going to have a rough time of things.
Yeah, I mean, unless Nex just goes absolutely bananas right now on the B bomb site.
He's made the right call. He's playing a nice retake angle on this bomb site. Could find a terrorist.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is, though, that, like, Big already have a player disadvantage. To even retake this bomb site right now with absolutely no utility, it seems impossible, and Liquid do get Nex as the bomb goes down. I think that really is just going to steal the round for them.
100%. It's a great job from Team Liquid, just slowing things down in the mid-round, not making a single peep, and it really forces Big to play a lot more honestly, rather than just rotating all three CTs over to that part of the map and having a potential chance to be able to multi-frag and trade each other out and allow the round to get into a messier sort of state of affairs where Big could potentially come out on top. Liquid just slow things down and they wait for Big to make a mistake. They wait for those rotations to come out, and then they do close out the round. So really 100%ing it at the end of the day.
It's hunting time. They're hunting wabbits. You ever seen that?
I have
Be
not.
quiet. Hunting wabbits.
That doesn't look like a rabbit paw to me.
They found a couple of rabbits. There goes Big. Unfortunately, no gun save through.
I thought Big would be better on this map. Isn't this meant to be set in Germany?
I think so. Based on the
This should be their
language
best map.
on the map.
This used to be a good map for them, I think.
Well,
Once upon a time.
unfortunately not this time, one would think. Well, at least based on previous history, it hasn't been amazing, right? But then again, you can look at the majority of the map pool, and it has actually been a struggle for Big. Fairly recently, at least.
Yep. Would agree with that.
And that is going to be another couple of quick frags for Liquid. I mean, not much to say about it, really, because Big is on eco. But it is just another nail in the coffin. Maybe a little one.
I'm really struggling to adjust to this world where these anti-ecos are so clean. There you go. Next is trying to help me adjust and normalize things for me, because I'm used to seeing these pistols just wipe out the opposition over in the Asia Pro League. Liquid just do such a good job making sure that doesn't happen, though.
Tabson's got himself an AK. So if they can take that through to the next round, it'll be pretty nice. But Liquid, I'm sure, are not too keen to allow that to happen as that creeps on forward. But the crouch angle, very nice. Tabson keeps himself alive for now, and actually nets himself another gun for Legia. So this is where we wonder how much Liquid is actually going to commit to taking these. Elige very, very quiet indeed, and he will get Legia. That's one of the guns gone. And two now as well. How does he win that aim duel? Ah, well, unfortunate for Big.
Enough loss bonus built up at this point for Big to be able to get a really healthy buy now. Lots of orgs, got the AWP. It's another opportunity for them to be able to put some rounds on the board for the CT side. But the question is, are Liquid just going to continue with this slow pace sort of T-side momentum? Or will they change up the pace like they did on Dust 2 after a slow crawling round, really throwing a bit of a spanner into the works and going for a bit of a faster play? Could be an option for them. Naf lining up the fast smoke in towards bathroom, I think it is.
Stewie might have a bit of work to do here, and he certainly has been pretty impactful for Liquid thus far on Overpass. Actually not going to be much of a push out from Big into the underpass. Stewie may well creep through this smoke, as he is wanted to do indeed, but Legia very well aware of it. Nice. Nicely done. Big have found the opener in a round, which is something that has eluded them.
So Liquid do start to expend some utility over towards Toilet and Divider just to show Big that they may be taking some toilet control, but instead they're going to go back to this long A area, just leaving Naf on the lurk. He could potentially make his way over towards the underpass, but instead opts to regroup with the rest of the team. So Liquid just going to try to potentially make their way towards this A-bomb site, and if they hit some nice clean entries, then they could potentially close out this round, especially if they're very, very wary about the flank coming in from Connector, but I love this from Big. Keeping Liquid guessing, even if they do clear out that connector, Big will maintain their man advantage, and it's a bit too late for Liquid to do so. So seeing the rotations and the stack come out onto this A bomb site, this is terrible for Liquid. They're setting up for this A play.
And that smoke going down as well from Big is going to be just another spanner in the works for Team Liquid. They do have a couple of smokes of their own, but only the one flashbang. Really no utility at all to get them into this site. And look at what Big has got to play with. They're continuing to re-smoke long. They know exactly where Team Liquid is. This is going to be a slaughterhouse shortly, making their way onto that A bomb site. Team Liquid can't manage to get anything done. As I say that, Twist with one, but one is not enough. And Naf, well, not much else to do, but have a look at Playground, thinking of better times.
That's the kind of Big that we wanted to see going into this series, particularly if Xantares was actually present and playing. You know, we'd like to see this series be a lot more competitive, where Big, really smart moves from the lads. They punish that push into Connector, and then they make the mid-round call to fall out of Connector and just make sure they maintain that man advantage and that round doesn't get messy. It's good to see from them. Do close out that round nice and cleanly.
I mean, the thing is, like, sure, it's great to have one round like that, but you need to be able to consistently do that, especially against a team like Liquid.
Yep.
So, a flash in a pan maybe for Big, but we need to see more than just a flash in the pan.
Oh, missed opportunity there for Tabson. And
yeah. Those are the kind of chances that can't really go begging.
100%. Liquid, they do have this short B control. Naf's made his way over here, so we will be able to hear all the rotations coming out from these Big players running up and down the maze, potentially, as well as make sure that Big doesn't have too much control over towards that short B area, because once you do take that part of the map, you can make sure no one's pushing from spawn to long, and you can gamble your rotations over towards A. So it really just is a question of gathering information and keeping the CTs honest in terms of their rotations and whether they can stack certain bomb sites. Looks like a bit of a misthrown smoker there over towards toilets that Tabson takes advantage of. Maybe intentional.
Leash, or rather, Ligia, is going to be the player that is traded out by Liquid. So for the good work that Tabson's put in, Twist has done equally as well.
And with Liquid getting this 1-for-1 over towards bathrooms, as well as having the short B control, Big can't really inform their rotates, and they're forced to be put in a scenario where they're 2-2 on either bomb site, and Liquid can just go wherever they want. God B could potentially be making the push in towards toilets, because he does realise that's not the best situation for Big to be in.
This is a nice position for God B, but did he even see Stewie just then?
Nope.
I think he missed him.
He did.
Oh dear, this could be dangerous. Everyone from Liquid headed towards B. God B doesn't know that there's a player on the A site. That should well be the end of Tabson. Stewie can't quite get the angle in time, but he is around behind a few of the Big players. And in the meanwhile, the B bomb site entry is working phenomenally for Liquid.
Just like that round on Dust 2, Stewie might be in the perfect position, but when your teammates are so good, when Twist just hits every headshot on his way into the bomb site, doesn't even matter where Stewie is.
Well, they're jealous of his ADR. He's at 148 right now, but he's not getting anything off of this round.
After how many rounds though, Jordan?
8 rounds? Well, 9 after this.
Wow.
But unfortunately, that's going to drop. Tabson, though, not sure what he's going to be able to do here. Stewie's certainly looking for him and finds him indeed. Headshot to finish it off, 7-2. So he actually does get a bit out of that one. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
All right, Big could potentially put a buy together here. Obviously, Legia and Old Mate would have a little bit less money than the rest of everyone else, but, you know, if they can get the AWP on the board, which one of them had enough money for, then they could potentially make it work. They've made worse work in this half so far, and it is running away from them a little bit. Liquid are putting a lot of rounds on the board here.
Yeah, not to mention on the T side as well.
Yep. Half buy coming out of Big, trying to even up their money and potentially do some damage to this Liquid economy.
Yeah, trying to wolf pack as well, but doesn't seem like a problem for Liquid at all. Obviously losing Twist is not ideal, but it's definitely not the end of the world right now. They start to work their way forward. They know now that they have the advantage. The element of surprise is no longer there for Big.
Liquid just taking their time here, keeping things nice and slow and clean. Nitro just using utility over towards this B bomb site to try to make sure that Big could potentially stack it while they go take control of other parts of the map. Oh, nice work from Stewie, just making things a little bit easier for Liquid. It's obviously easier to clean up all the anti-echoing pistolers if you shoot them through various objects that they can't shoot back.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's one way of doing it.
Haven't seen Big do anything crazy so far. Like, even when they went down on the CT side of Dust 2, it never really got to that desperate point that we see some other teams get, where they just go, you know, absolutely nuts and just go, oh, whatever, we're down 11-2, let's just send like 4 people up catwalk or something crazy. Like, we need to put a round on the board. We need to try something nuts. Big always, oh my god.
Is that Arya Stark?
I think so.
4v1. What can God B do? The man, the myth, the legend. Never mind. 2-8. Liquid having no problems at all here against Big. And all smiles, really, across the camp, it looks like. Who can blame them, really? They are really in the pole position to be the first team to qualify for Qudos Bank Arena. And would have been surprising if they were not.
All right. Well, at an 8-2 scoreline, this is Big's opportunity to actually come back into the half and get a few more rounds on the board. But they're going to be putting in the hard yards to do so. Liquid's economy is still pretty healthy at this point, so they're going to have to string multiple gun rounds together to make it happen. No pick in the early round once again. It's just a very passive ult play out from Tabson. It is the double setup aggressively over towards short B, but Tizian gets his head ripped off, picking over towards Monster by Naf, so already a disadvantage rather than an advantage for Big. Things just get bad to worse.
Yeah, unfortunate for Big. But look, I think for Big, really, it was never going to be a case of going through the upper bracket. We were obviously looking toward them more so in the lower bracket than anything else. And they still be an opportunity for them there. This game's not over just yet, though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Next, with a 1-for-1. It's well, a brief moment of hope until he's traded out straight away. Stewie creeping his way through Monster. This is very scary indeed for God B. I think right now you'd be pooing your pants if you were in that situation. Tabson helps him out though, so maybe there's a chance here for Big. Although, as I say that, Stewie spots the foot through the smoke. And all of a sudden, any hope of this round going the way of Big is wrestled away by Liquid.
It's Tabson to hold on to the AWP, and Liquid don't even look that keen to be hunting him at this point. Although you do have Naf going on a bit of an adventure into T-spawn. So he could look to take this AWP out of Tabson's hands. See if he will get it. Oh, nice fast shot from Tabson. And at this point, you know, they've got a lot of loss bonus, but it's always good to hold on to an additional AWP. You can drop that over and buy yourself another one. Could be the difference maker for Big, although it doesn't really seem to matter what kind of weaponry they have or what kind of utility or what kind of strategy they're doing. It feels like it's only a matter of time for Liquid. They've been absolutely dominant on both of their T halves, and they don't even get to keep the AWP, so they won't have the money to be able to buy another one in this next round. And with 3.5, 3.6 across the majority and, you know, maybe 4.2 on 2 of their players, it's going to be a bit of a rough buy on the CT side if they want to go for it. Probably just a half buy with the pistols and wait for the loss bonus to roll in. But even at that point, Liquid's moving up to double digits and you're heading into the same territory as Dust 2. And on one of your shakier maps.
In fact, it may even be like worse territory than Dust 2 for Big at this point. You know, we're looking at potentially not even getting close to Team Liquid's score, which, like, I guess to be fair, is probably pretty much what we saw on Dust 2 as well. But this actually even feels more dominant to me than Dust 2 did. There was moments for Big.
Feels like Liquid haven't even hit that second gear so far. Like, at least on Dust 2, they were changing up the pace. They were constantly changing up whether going towards long or fast out mid. On Overpass, they've basically just been running the same default over and over again and been winning with it no matter what, and just really relying on those executes and fakes in towards the late late sort of portions of the round to be winning the rounds. They haven't even seen them run anything too quickly most of the time, apart from this short B aggression and control that they've been running, but that's not something that's designed to win the round most of the time.
Wow.
I think this isn't really a case of a Sentical anti-eco as much as it is Liquid just dominating their opponent and Elite's just deciding to go for these duels. This is the first time I've seen Liquid play an anti-eco this aggressively.
That said, NAF has actually managed to sort of salvage things a little bit there, finding a couple and actually gets all 3. There's 4. No worries about that one at all. It was, again, a brief moment of hope, a flash in the pan for Big.
Well, that was the first time Liquid's gone that silly against Pistols. They're just basically charging at their opponents, trying to close out the game. I think that maybe they're potentially getting a little hungry. Want to close it out nice and quickly, go grab some dinner or something like that. Works out for them in the end. Heading into this next round, I mean, their economy's doing well enough to the point where dropping guns isn't going to make too much of a difference unless Big's able to string like every round together. Even then, I'm not sure it would make much of a difference, and it won't. Yeah, 11k on Stewie, the rest of the lads doing totally fine.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a bit of a difference of setup this time. Tabson's going to look for a peek from this long A angle. And again, another missed opportunity, another missed shot from Tabson.
Yeah, you can't miss those when you're down 2 and 10. Especially having already lost the first map in the series. It's looking more and more dire for Big.
Here comes that brackets control for Liquid as they try to put their foot forward in towards this A side of the map. Going to have Legia to deal with in this smoke, and if he finds the right timing, he could potentially make a massive impact for Big in this round and give them a much better chance of winning it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have any idea that he is here. No one covering that angle at the moment, and this could be massive for Big, for lack of a better word. Next, the first one to strike, and again, that is just going to increase the ability for Legia to cause problems, and he's definitely causing some of those. 2 kills. This will surely be around now for Big. Only Naf and Nitro left.
Oh.
But with that said, Naf, we saw what he could do last round against the Pistols. Maybe he can do that against the Guns as well. And he certainly can. Next will fall. The B bomb site is opened up, and all of a sudden it looks possible for Liquid. Bombs rotating in. Plant will go down. It won't be denied by Big at all.
This shot from Tabson as Liquid starting to struggle to get this bomb down, but they do just in time. Nitro getting mollied off the site.
They don't know where God B is, and this will be a free frag for him. But Naf doing the work against Tabson. Knows roughly where God B is, so just has to buy his time, dancing around. Pat takes the peek, and he hits the headshot as well. Goodness me, it couldn't get any worse for Big, could it, at this point?
Yep. Even if Team Liquid, you know, have a couple missteps, they allow Legia to get past them in the toilets. Even if they're getting a bit silly in the anti-eco, Naf bails them out both times.
Yeah. It's just trying to help me out on my fantasy team.
Oh, that's right.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go. Great pick from Jordan. Unbelievable, though.
Such a
in
big
a 2-on-4, Naf just walks out B, gets all the entries, and then closes out the clutch as well.
Yeah. He's a beast right now. So is the rest of Team Liquid, to be fair.
Bit of aggression coming out from Big on the half bite.
Well, Nitro knows where Tabson is. That's gone a little bit awry, but he'll manage to finish it off.
None of these CTs really in position to be able to trade or do anything, and Twister's going to creep out Monster. Again, a point of weakness here for Big.
We flashed completely. The 5-7 not going to be able to do anything there. It's just an easy waltz into the B bomb site at the moment for Liquid.
That's what it really is. It's just 2 of them going towards that part of the map. Sometimes not even 2, really just one guy who walks out Monster, does whatever he wants with the CT team. No one to stop him. And that's just really the hesitancy showing for Big. The confidence seems to be lacking a little bit. They don't want to be taking those aim duels. They're just letting these Ts walk out wherever they want, do whatever they want, and that's really been the problem for Big on both of their CT sites thus far. Any opportunity they've had to get aggressive or be assertive in the earlier parts of the round has either been, you know, missed opportunity or Liquid shutting them down immediately. And after 10 plus rounds in 2 halves of them doing that, you tend to lose a bit of confidence from Big. You tend to stop going for those kind of plays.
I think that's the point that we're at for Big. For Team Liquid, they're starting to get the feeling that they're going to be going to the Qudos Bank Arena. Only 4 rounds away now. And it is feeling like an inevitability, really, for Team Liquid at this point, as it should be.
So no AWP being bought into this round, although Big had the money for it. It's going to be the aggression over towards Fountain from Tabson. Finally, some shots starting to be hit.
It's not over till it's over, though. And we have time and time again seen Team Liquid be able to bail themselves out of disadvantageous player number situations. Nitro, if he gets the second here, that's going to be massive. But he's, of course, not to know Tamsin is there. Naf will spot him, though. And all of a sudden, we're back to 3v3. So what was, again, a great start for Big has just been dismantled, slowly but surely, by Liquid. Now we're back to even Stevens, with lots of time for Liquid to play with. They're starting to make their inroads in toward the bomb site right now. Tizian rotating through Connector. It's really just a fake up on A, and this is going to allow the remaining Liquid players, Naf and Stewie, to just walk into B. And the B bomb site has been really a site of disaster for Big. We've seen multiple clutches go the way of Team Liquid. It beguiles belief, really.
Neither of these big players have a kit, so the more the clock runs down, the harder it's going to be for them to be able to pull off this clutch round, and particularly with Stewie tucked in towards the ABC there and Naf just playing time at Monster. It's going to be a difficult round for them to come away with.
Yeah, I don't even think they're going to spot Stewie until it's too late. Naf taking first contact here. He will go down to Gob B, but it's a 1-for-1 as Stewie gets another. Or is that flash on through? Still got a pretty big job to do. Tizian finally going to win a round here for Big.
But we're in the same territory as Dust too, you know, Big getting a couple round toward the tail end of the half, and it's a 12-3 for Team Liquid. It's looking pretty grim.
Yeah, certainly is at the moment. Again, you're looking at a situation where Team Liquid have all the cards in their back pocket heading into the second half, and we're expecting that they will be the team to take this one away 2-0. That's all, though, for us in the first half. We'll find out how things go in the second.
Your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the towers looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise.
Liquid looking so hot right now, they might turn into a gas before this game is over. Pilly a 12-3 first half on Overpass. Considering how things went on Dust 2, it seems like an almost sure thing that we're going to be seeing Team Liquid through to Qudos Bank Arena.
100%. And you did see that, got beat. He has a pretty good idea of how to play the T side on this map from that video we saw earlier, but it's going to take a little bit more than good ideas from Big to be able to convert rounds on this T side. Team Liquid already in a dominant position.
Yeah, that's a decent start for Big. Tamsin finding the first. Nitro, though, now will take the time to strike after Naf has caused the distraction. And I will say Naf's the distraction, but he gets 3 kills. Doesn't really need to be much of a distraction. In the end, he can just finish them off himself. A very clean pistol for Team Liquid, and that was like almost a 2v5.
The setup in between the connector and the toilets really just stopped that T-pistol before it even got rolling for Big, unfortunately. They just got absolutely steamrolled. Right now, they're getting pushed out of this game. At least in the last map of Dust 2, they were able to get the T-pistol and able to get things rolling a little bit more when they're at that deficit. This time, they haven't been allowed that luxury, and Liquid's going to get themselves off to a good start. So, worst case scenario here for Big.
Yeah,
they're going to force buy and try to make work of things out towards this monster area, but Nex is already shut down in towards Connector.
Well, this is not looking good at all, is it? But with that said, a couple of quick picks from Big, maybe give them a chance. Stewie will shut down Tamsin. Now God B needs to get work done with that Tech 9, but he cannot. And Legia finds himself all alone. The coach. Gosh, imagine the memes if he wins this round.
I can barely even wait. Fortunately, with how Liquid was set up in that particular round, they were all centralized around that connector area. The fact that Big was heading towards B allowed Liquid to just rotate so cleanly. So even if they're going 1-for-1, the rotations come in so quickly from those other Liquid players that they're able to come in and shoot those big players in the side. So if they haven't made their way onto the bomb site yet, they can get caught off guard.
Legia, let's see what he can do. He knows where Nitro is. Does just need a slight bit of damage, and that's not quite going to be enough. Oh well, finished off. Well done from Nitro.
There you go. Last chance here for Big, and they are on a save. We'll see if they go with that same philosophy as last game and allow Liquid to get to map point and just go for the save and buy up fully in the next round, or whether they're going to cut their corners and potentially force into this one, maybe drop some AKs or go for the pistol armor. It will be the pistol armor and the Mac 10. Wouldn't be surprised if Big do have something in mind, pre-planned. They are pretty good at converting these, or at least they used to be pretty good at converting these half buys into actual rounds. Does look like they're all heading towards this monster side of the map, setting up for some kind of a B play. Utility pretty decent on Team Liquid, but the problem is that Twist is the one with the majority of it, and he's actually close up on this B short area.
The grenade's going to come through. That does a huge chunk of damage to Tizian. Forces Big back just a little bit. A little bit more damage coming through from the spam on the wall. Leech does get a 1-for-1, so there's, again, another glimmer of hope here for Big, but that very quickly is going to be ripped away. Stewie will get the first, second, maybe even the third as well. Not quite, but there's certainly enough Team Liquid players here to mean that it's not really going to be an issue for the CT side. 15 up now and 1 round away from Qudos Bank Arena. Team Liquid have had a phenomenal day. This could well be a 16-13.
Yeah, the utility really just cut that push in half. They weren't able to push out short B at the same time as Monster, and all the counter flashes created so many opportunities for those Liquid players to just get free frags on towards Big. Then the mid-round push on towards short, and it's just too much for Big to deal with. They didn't have the weaponry to do so. The firepower really hasn't been working for them.
Nothing seems to have been working for them.
So here's their last chance, and it's a pretty lackluster buy. Haven't really even had an opportunity to be able to play any kind of a T side, and already getting shut down before they can make it out of this party area.
Indeed, well, Nex is trying to do his best, but it seems as though Liquid is keen to get things over and done with, and now they're the first team through to the Qudos Bank Arena. Who could have expected anything else, Pili? Well done from Team Liquid. Today has been really what looks like a cakewalk.
Yeah, they absolutely cruised to this quarterfinal spot guaranteed. No real opposition from Big or Boot, making quick work of all their opponents.
I think across the board, all things said and done, that's exactly what we expected out from Team Liquid. It's good to see them being able to finish it off in such fashion. Big, of course, will go down into the lower bracket. I think now might be a good time for us to head over to the analyst desk.